Hi everyone, my name is Sabrina McMullen and welcome back. This is my part 2 video on how to apply for the CPA exam. So by now you should have read, you should have watched my first part video and to figure out which jurisdiction you should apply, and you're probably halfway through your master's of accounting and getting some of the knowledge that you need for CPA exam. And so in this part 2 video, I'm going to show you how to apply for the exam and how do you strategize in order to make sure that you meet the 18 months time to pass all the 4 papers. Thank you.
Step 1. If you got your bachelor's degree outside of US, then you should start your International Credential Evaluation for CPA examination process with NIES first. I strongly suggest that you complete this step before you create your account at cpacentral.nespa.org. Why? Because International Credential Evaluation process can be messy and takes a long time. If you apply at CPA Central first, and this evaluation report is not completed within 45 days of the submission date of your application will be marked as incomplete and will not be processed further. Failure to submit all required supporting documents will result in the denial of your application and forfeiture of your application fee. That will be a costly mistake. Here is a sample of the NIES report that you will receive once NIES completes the evaluation process. This report will be automatically sent to NESPA and kept with your application file. Next, determine the materials you need to provide to NESPA. Please note that these items only apply to Massachusetts and may not apply to other states' requirements, so please check your own state requirement. First, certificate of enrollment. This is not needed if you already have 120 hours and obtained your bachelor's degree. Second, if you studied in US, then go to your school's website and apply for official school transcripts to be sent directly from your school to NESPA. NESPA will not take any transcripts that you sent to them. It has to come from your school. Or, if you studied outside of US, then you should have completed the NIES evaluation, and the evaluation will be auto-sent to NESPA as explained earlier. Lastly, don't forget the photo form. Now, this is the important planning stage that I want to share with you. Many people didn't properly strategize and plan how they want to tackle the exams. At the end of the day, they have to retake exams and incur more cost, time, and effort. So here's the NESPA rules you have to play by. 1. You have to pass all 4 sections of the exam within a rolling 18-month period. The clock starts ticking from the date you pass your first exam section. So for example, I took my audit paper first and I received my score on September 10, 2015. This score then expired 18 months later on February 28, 2016. Second, the CPA exam is offered the first 2 months of each quarter of the calendar year. These are called testing windows. The 3rd month of every quarter is considered a blackout month, means you can take exam in the months of March, June, September, and December. So if you think about it, even though the notice to schedule is valid for 6 months, you really only have 4 months of testing windows. So when is the right time to apply? I'm going to walk you through my beautiful timeline shown here. Before I even started my application process with NESPA, I started studying for the paper that I want to tackle first. I went with audit because I used to do auditing at KPMG and is most familiar with this subject. Some people has a different theory and feel that they should go for their weakest subject. You can do that, but you will have an enormous pressure and stress. As for me, I wanted to gather some confidence and know how the whole exam process works, get into the groove of things and know what to expect on the testing day. I also started my International Credential Evaluation with NIES explained earlier. Once I know NIES has completed my evaluation report, I started my application process. I applied for 2 papers in my first application. To me, this is the most economical and risk-free method. I know I can finish studying for 3 or 4 papers within 6 months period, while applying for one paper is not economical. So since I have to incur more registration fees down the road. It took me more than a month to receive my first notice to schedule, my NTS. I applied in early June and only received my NTS in mid-July. I immediately registered for my audit test date to be early August and my BEC test date to be early November. So you notice my scheduling is such that I got to study for my audit paper for 3 months and my BEC paper for 3 months. By January 2016, I applied for my second NTS. Note that the second NTS is received much faster than the first one. I received the second NTS within a week or so be careful when you apply for the second NTS. As you notice, my scheduling this time is such that I got to study for my regulation paper for 4 months and my FAR paper for 4 months. Those papers are tougher for me, so I planned them so I have more time to study for them. I gave myself a remaining 8 months buffer period before my first exam scores expired on February 28, 2017 in case I fail any paper. But obviously I didn't use any of my buffer. So this is the sample of the NTS letter you will receive from NASPA. Note that the NTS is issued on the day NASPA completes your application evaluation and finds you eligible to take the CPA exam. It doesn't start on the first day of the month. So for example, I received my first NTS on July 17, 2015 and the 6 months period ended on January 17, 2016. You will need the section ID numbers to apply for your test date at prometrics.com. The launch code is what you need on the test day itself. Final step here is to go to prometric.com and schedule for your testing date. This is a screenshot of when you need to key in your section ID number. I like to schedule my test in the afternoon so I have time to review my notes in the morning and get a good lunch in before I attack my paper. This is the end of part 2 video. I hope you found my video useful. Please see my third video on my study method and tips on how to ace my CPA exam. If you like my video, please share it with all those who are taking their CPA. Thank you for listening.